When people are hungry, insecurity will increase. According to analysts, we have one here in the studio. He's in person of Reverend Sheriff Azeka. He's the Chief Executive Officer and Chief Operating Officer of Sapphire Shield Security Outfit. They are known for carrying out serious campaign on security matters. He joins us live here in our Benin Network studio. Good morning, I'm glad to have you.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
All right, should I say Happy New Year? Happy New Month. Okay, we are meeting for the first time in the month. All right, walk us through. You just saw what happened somewhere in Abuja. A warehouse was invaded, and according to the security report, the security men that were on duty, they couldn't even combat the mammoth crowd that actually invaded that space. They had to just let them have their way and looted all the food stuff there. The gate was looted. Electric fittings were looted down to the ceilings and roof. The only trace you know that people actually got there were the footwears of those guys that actually came there. How did we get here? Is there a way out, Reverend Sheriff?
Thank you very much. We all know that we are facing a very serious situation in Nigeria.
Oh.
It's a monster that is attacking every nook and cranny of the state and country.
Oh.
And to tame this monster, it's not going to be by the gun.
Oh.
The monster is bigger than the gun. We just talk about food insecurity.
Oh.
We can manage road insecurity. Insecurity on our roads. We can manage even shelter insecurity, lack of shelter. There are many things we can manage when it comes to insecurity. But in the issue of food security, is the most dangerous insecurity we can experience.
The most dangerous?
Yes, the most dangerous. We can manage others, but not hunger.
Oh.
When the people are hungry, it's a gateway to insecurity. And this gateway is a bigger gateway to insecurity, because they say the hungry man is the angry man. There is nothing you can do when the child is crying. The child is hungry. You don't put the child before the television to watch film. You don't give the child toys. As long as it is hunger, there's nothing you can do about it that will give that child food. The moment you give that child food, the child is the cry ceases.
Oh.
That's what is happening in Nigeria today. Within few days, few weeks, few months, you see the rate in which things are going or escalating. I said it here some time ago that something will soon happen in this country if care is not taken. And that thing is nothing but hunger.
Oh.
Lack of food. I came here some time ago to talk about food security.
Yes, we talked about it.
Things are going.
Oh.
Farmers are no much in the bush because of the invaders. We should look at it from the grassroots. Security is a grassroots issue. It's a localized matter. It's not something you deal with from the top. If you don't deal with it from the bottom, from the grassroots, you are missing the whole thing. Because if we had said this one before now, we would have known what to do. When it comes to security matter, we have to predict the future and see how we can survey the situation. And we have to be very proactive. But the system is reactive. Because when these guys enter our forest and begin to kill our farmers and they rape our women and they put fear in their hearts, the rate in which people go into the bush to farm became more drastically reduced. And when that aspect is affected, definitely there's going to be a serious case that the people will experience, which is called food security. And it's the most dangerous security you can think of. We can manage road security, we can manage even light security, we can manage hospital security, not food security, because that affects everybody, both the rich and the poor, the educated and the illiterate. Everybody is affected. And now, when the man is hungry, what do you expect him to do? It is said that the hungry man is the angry man. Yeah. He can do anything. When the man is hungry, to kill will not be difficult for him. To do any nasty thing will not be difficult for him. He will do everything to satisfy that hunger. Just like when a child is hungry, you are putting the child before the television. Oh, baby, watch television, watch toy, watch this, watch that. The baby will still be crying. Put toy before the baby. Give the baby everything. The child just needs food. Anything outside food, that child will keep on crying. That is what is happening in Nigeria. So you can
literally tame every other thing, not hunger.
Not hunger.
Hunger is not controllable.
Hunger is not something you can play with. And that is what Nigerians are going through. When you go to the market now, things are escalating every day. And it's like there's no control. There's a kind of open gate. The thing is loose. and everybody's being affected. And there's no way you can tame security when there's hunger.
Now, the issue of insecurity started somewhere in the north.
Yes.
And these guys actually came with an ideology that Western education is a sin. That was the ideology. But do you think the issue of hunger is encouraging other persons to buy into the ideology? Because just of recent, some persons that were arrested, they are not even from the northern part of the country alone. We've seen people from the south, we've seen people from the eastern part, we've seen people from other region in the country involved in this issue. So are we now saying the issue of hunger and poverty actually enlisted them into this army of terrorists?
Yes, hunger is a major issue. When the economy is down, the more the economy is going down, the more insecurity is going up. There's nothing you can do about it.
The more economy is coming down,
the more insecurity is going up. And when the economy is going up, insecurity is coming down. So they move like this, pari passu. And if we cannot control the economy very well, you can't control insecurity. The more the economy of the nation is going down, you cannot control insecurity because it's a product of insecurity. Hunger is a product of insecurity because when the people are hungry, they can go any length to do anything. It's something you cannot control. So the best way is, initially, they missed it from the beginning. When these guys enter our forest, we keep on knocking the door. Government should do something to address this issue. And our borders are open. Our borders became so porous, they were entering Nigeria like no man business. If you look at our society today, there are a lot of strangers, not visitors, there are a lot of strangers in our midst. You go to some countries, if you don't have documents, you don't have paper, you can't be permitted to move.
You can't walk freely.
You can't walk freely, but in our own system, everybody is walking freely. Whether you are a native, you are not a native, there is no system that guards the whole thing. And the more you see strangers in your midst that are not controlled, the more insecurity looms. And because these things are not controlled, most of them, they enter a forest. They besake the forest. And anybody they see there is on his own. So they put serious fear in our farmers' mind. Just imagine the farmers were slaughtered. Slaughtered. They go to farm to feed the nation. These guys were slaughtered in the bush. Nobody wants to go to the forest. Is it the youth that we are talking about? The young people today, they don't want to go to the forest to farm. And as long as that aspect is affected, it's going to affect everybody.
Just recently, somewhere in Agbade, Donut, a traditional ruler was attacked in the farm where he went to harvest yams. And he went with his heavily pregnant wife. And the wife was taken away. He tried to resist them and he was brutally injured. He was left in the pool of his blood for about 2 days before people came and met him. He almost gave up the ghost, but he's currently receiving treatment. But the wife was taken away. And a ransom of 20 million is requested from this man. And the question is, he only farmed to sustain the family. He doesn't really farm for commercial activities as that. How can we start getting rid of these persons from our forest? They seem to have a technical know-how of this forest.
Yeah. You know, they've allowed them to come in. And they came in their drones. And they're everywhere. And the funny thing is that not just only the forests. They're even our cities. And what are we doing? Just move within Benin, our outskirts of the Benin. You will see what I'm talking about. There's a looming insecurity coming that if care is not taken, it will be difficult to tame. Remember in the Bible when Pharaoh saw some persons growing in their numbers, the Jews. He didn't just fold his hand, he did something. He tamed them for 430 years so that they can have a place called Egypt. So we are not taming anybody. And they are all coming freely. Look at them in drones, in trailers. Where are they going? Who is asking? These guys, where are you coming from? Where are you going? Which business do you have in so and so place? And sometimes the trailers will stop and all of them will enter the forest. Doing what in the forest? They've put fear in the minds of our people. They can't go to farm again. And we're talking about food security. I don't think this can be addressed overnight because we have allowed this thing to take place over time. Over time. Even the so-called hunters, they have been attacked in different places. I mean, there is a kind of fear among our farmers.
Do you know that strangers are currently the hunters we have in the state? You hardly see indigenous hunters again. If you drive through or coming towards Oluku, to Bowo, just by the roadside, most of the guys that are selling these games from the bush, they are literally from another part of the country.
Yes, they are coming in.
So have they now replaced our indigenous hunters?
I think I want to use this opportunity to thank the governor. Sincerely, I want to thank Governor Azeka for the great work he's doing. If not his intervention, this state would have been overthrown or overrun by these people by training vigilante and hunters. We so far have trained I'm among those people training them. We've so far trained 8,000 of them.
Wow.
Presently, I can categorically tell you that one.
And are they currently on payroll?
I think very soon that will be taken care of.
Because before now, we learned some of them don't really get anything.
There's an encouragement to that aspect, but with time, very soon that will be addressed.
Okay.
And they are going to train, the government is going to train more. That will train about 15,000 people. These people can curb the forest and do more. But we need to do more because these guys are coming in their drones. If you train 10,000 people and 30,000 persons outside comes in, you know they will be overpowered. So we need to do more on that angle to know who and who is in our state, and so that we can manage this. In the area of insecurity, food security, there's something the government really needs to do quickly before people begin to take laws on their hand. Because the man that is hungry, there is nothing you can tell him that he will listen except the stomach is taken care of. So we can do with that, so that to encourage the encouragement we give to farmers, that farmers should go to farm. What security measures have we put on ground for them to go to farm? We should assure them that the farm, the bushes, or the forest have been taken care of by the security agencies, so that they can have this mind. And again, sensitization. We need to begin to sensitize our people on the level in which things are going, because security is not something. It's not an issue of gun and uniform. The gun and the uniform cannot address security holistically. One thing I always advocate or subscribe, that we should go into educating our people, sensitizing our people more on the nitty-gritties of security. Because a lot of people in our country here, they lack the education when it comes to security. Many of them don't even know anything about security.
Okay, talking about education, I was once driving from Uzeba in our west to Ekmoma, and around Ora, just after Sabugida, you know, I saw a man with cattle. I just stopped by and interfaced with him, though I needed to get one anyway for something back then. And he told me that he was actually heading to Kogi State on foot, just him and his cows. And I asked him how. He told me he would go through the bushes, that he knows the road from here, that to take him to a donut from that spot, and he was going to come out around Lokoja. I was surprised. I asked him how many days it would take him. He told me less than 4 days. He should be in Lokoja. Though I understand the dialect, I was able to communicate with him. But how do we now start telling people to start being security conscious, when probably should they attack these people? Should they confront them? What mechanism should they use?
It's not a matter of attack. We don't need to attack anybody. We need to be educated. We need to be sensitized.
In what ways?
And security is a grassroots issue, and it will be approached from the grassroots. It's not from the top. We can use the media. The media is a very powerful weapon, like what you people are doing. ITV is doing much when it comes to sensitization in the area of security. I want to appreciate the management of ITV. And then if the government will do more in the area of using the media, even social media, the media houses, to communicate to the people in the area of security, I know to an extent it will take shape. And apart from the media, we can do it locally, sensitizing people from community to community. The way we did in the days of COVID-19. You see the way it was managed when COVID-19 came.
Government took it upon themselves.
Government took care of it. They advertised, they canvassed it from community to community. It was a grassroots approach. So even the old woman, the old man in the village understood what COVID-19 was. But if we can do that, if we can take that kind of step to begin to sensitize our people on this aspect of security, even our schools. Like personally, I go to schools. In the morning, I educate the students on security awareness, so that they should be aware, because I'm doing something that has to do with catch them young in the area of security, because the elderly ones have missed it, so the younger ones should not miss it. So educate, and apart from that one, security should be part of the educational curriculum. In some parts of the world, like Israel or wherever, A child of 5 years knows the nitty-gritty of security because it's part of their curriculum right from the kindergarten. If the government can come up this way nationwide to make security part of the educational curriculum, you get the education right from the childhood. They grew with it. It will go a long way. Very, very important. And apart from the localized aspect of it, billboards. We should have a lot of billboards all around to talk about security. Any aspect you want to come up, security begins with me. That's what we do. Help the government, because security is not the government issue. Everybody's a stakeholder. Because we just say government. We leave everything in the hand of government, or we leave everything in the hand of police. No, everybody is responsible to his or her own security. So if you put security in the hands of the police, after all, how many police officers do we have in this country? So the
task of government has gone beyond providing security for lives and properties now?
No. One of the things you know about government is to protect the citizens and give them good welfare. But when the thing becomes more than them, based on what is happening, what we need to do is to call everybody to the round table that this security issue is everybody. Everybody is involved. It's not just the police. It's not the army.
Let's begin to put a finishing touch to the discussion. Do you see security issue ending anytime soon? Is there any end in sight? Final word.
It will end, not finally end, because security is everywhere. I mean, insecurity, even in America, you can't end it, but you can tame it.
You can't end it.
You can tame it.
Yes,
it can be tamed to an extent. You can't end it.
And it's everybody's responsibility.
It's everybody's responsibility. Everybody. I want to say this before the closure. Security is everybody's responsibility. Don't take security for granted. Don't say it is police responsibility. It's your responsibility to protect yourself. Though the government is doing their own bid, but you should not forget that what happens to you happens to you.
Protecting themselves, though we are running out of time, it says their responsibility to protect themselves. Should citizens start carrying arms?
No, you don't need to carry arms to protect yourself. You need to understand what it takes to secure yourself.
Okay. All right, we'll be talking along that line. You need to understand what it takes to secure yourself, Reverend Sheriff Azeka. We hope to have him again join us and tell us what we need to know. Since I don't need gun, I don't need machete to protect myself, you'll be telling me what it takes.
I will do that.
In our next one.